It was 4 a.m. when the gym lights came on. Not all of them, just one row above the far basket. The rest of the building remained dark, silent, untouched. Kobe was already sweating. The sound of the ball echoed through the empty space, steady and deliberate. No cameras, no schedule, just work that had no audience. He had been there for hours, long enough for exhaustion to stop being physical and start becoming mental. Every shot followed the same rhythm. Catch, set, release. Misses were corrected immediately. Makes were treated as incomplete information. Nothing counted unless it could be repeated. This was not recovery. This was not extra practice. This was maintenance against doubt. The kind of doubt that appears after bad games and whispers quietly when no one is around to contradict it. That doubt had arrived recently. Not loudly, but persistently. Kobe had felt it after a performance he refused to excuse. The numbers were public, the criticism predictable. What bothered him was not the reaction. It was the recognition that something had slipped. At 4:17 a.m. the gym door opened. The sound was subtle but unfamiliar. Kobe did not turn immediately. Footsteps stopped near the sideline. A rookie stood there, unsure whether to speak. He had come in early by accident. He had not expected to find anyone else. The rookie watched for several minutes in silence. The repetition felt excessive. The intensity felt unnecessary. Finally, curiosity overrode hesitation. He asked the question without realizing its weight. "Why are you still here?" Kobe stopped shooting. The ball rolled slowly across the floor. He turned and looked at the rookie without irritation, without pride, just clarity. The question wasn't new to him. He had answered it internally many times before. He did not raise his voice. He did not explain his routine. He did not mention legacy or greatness. He gave a short answer, measured and final, an answer that left no room for debate. The rookie did not respond. He didn't need to. The question had ended. Whatever uncertainty he carried into the gym dissolved in that moment. He understood that this was not about talent or motivation. That answer would follow him long after that morning. But for Kobe, it was already settled. This was the standard, and once set, it would never be lowered. Kobe's answer was brief. He said he was there because he could not afford to be average for even one morning. The words were calm, almost casual, but they carried weight. He wasn't speaking to impress. He was stating a condition he lived under. The rookie processed the sentence slowly. It didn't sound motivational. There was no emotion attached. It sounded like policy, like something already decided long ago and never revisited. Kobe picked up the ball again and resumed shooting. The conversation was over. To him, the explanation had been sufficient. Anything more would have diluted the truth. What the rookie didn't know was that this answer wasn't meant for him. It was reinforcement. Kobe repeated it to himself daily, sometimes silently, sometimes through action. The gym at 4 a.m. was proof that the rule still applied. That rule had formed over years of observation. Kobe had watched talent fade. He had seen gifted players slow down, arrive later, leave earlier, and justify it with success. He had promised himself never to follow that path. Being great, Kobe believed, was not about peaks. It was about preventing decline before it became visible. Most players reacted to loss. He reacted to the possibility of loss. The rookie stood for a moment longer, uncertain. Then he left quietly. The question had ended the talk, but it had started something else entirely. Kobe continued shooting without looking up. The interruption had not changed the routine. If anything, it confirmed it. Later that day, the team would arrive for practice unaware of what had already happened. The work they saw was only the surface. The decision behind that answer would soon shape how everyone around Kobe understood preparation. Word spread quietly, not through interviews or social media, but through observation. Players noticed Kobe arriving earlier, staying later, leaving when no one else remained. The story of the 4 a.m. gym did not sound impressive. It sounded uncomfortable. Some teammates admired it from a distance. Others dismissed it as excess. They believed talent and game preparation were enough. Kobe never challenged those beliefs directly. He allowed time to do that for him. During practices, the contrast became obvious. Kobe moved with certainty. Decisions came quickly. When pressure rose, he did not hesitate. The repetition from empty gyms had created familiarity others lacked. Younger players felt the gap most clearly. They trained hard, but not relentlessly. They stopped when drills ended. Kobe continued. Not because he enjoyed it, but because stopping early felt irresponsible. The rookie from that morning began arriving earlier, not at 4 a.m., but earlier than before. He did not speak to Kobe. He didn't need to. The line had already been drawn. That line was invisible, but firm. On one side stood preparation as obligation. On the other, preparation as choice. Kobe existed entirely on the first side. Coaches observed the effect carefully. Intensity lifted standards but also created distance. Kobe accepted that distance. Closeness was not the goal. Reliability was. Games reflected the shift. When momentum swung, Kobe remained composed. Others reacted. He responded. The difference was subtle but decisive. The answer he gave at 4 a.m. had not ended conversation by force. It ended it by clarity. There was nothing to argue with. From that point on, the standard was set. And standards, once established, rarely remain isolated. The standard Kobe Bryant set did not stay theoretical for long. It began to surface during film sessions and late-game situations. Small lapses drew quiet looks. Missed details were revisited without comment. The pressure was subtle, but constant. Some veterans pushed back privately. They argued that rest mattered, that balance preserved longevity. Kobe listened without responding. In his mind, balance was already accounted for. It just didn't look comfortable. Practices grew sharper. Drills ended, but Kobe stayed engaged. He repeated movements others considered complete. The difference was not effort. It was tolerance for unfinished work. The rookie watched closely. What had started as curiosity turned into awareness. The 4 a.m. answer wasn't a challenge. It was a warning. This level required a choice. Coaches noticed the tension. They managed minutes, adjusted schedules, and monitored fatigue. Kobe complied publicly and continued privately. He believed responsibility did not end when supervision stopped. Games began to feel different. When mistakes happened, Kobe corrected them on the next possession. No frustration, no delay. The response was immediate. Teammates interpreted this in different ways. Some felt exposed, others felt elevated. Kobe did not sort reactions. He focused on outcomes. Criticism followed. Commentators framed the approach as excessive. Kobe did not deny it. Excess, he believed, was relative to ambition. The friction intensified, but so did consistency. Where uncertainty once appeared, structure replaced it. The cost became clearer. And with clarity came permanence. The standard was no longer personal. It was contagious. The real test arrived under pressure. A tight game, little margin, noise rising. Kobe Bryant entered calm, as if the outcome had already been rehearsed. The habits built in silence now faced resistance in public. Early possessions challenged him. Defenses adjusted. Timing tightened. Kobe did not force momentum. He trusted repetition. The work done alone guided decisions when options narrowed. Teammates sensed the difference. Where panic usually appeared, there was structure. Where hesitation lived, there was pace. The standard translated. Fatigue surfaced late, predictable, and familiar. Kobe welcomed it. He had practiced tired. He had practiced uncomfortable. Nothing in the moment surprised him. When the final sequence unfolded, he executed without urgency. The result mattered, but less than the confirmation. The approach held. Post-game narratives shifted cautiously. Praise returned with conditions. Kobe ignored it. Validation had never been the objective. The rookie watched from the bench, understanding now what the 4 a.m. answer had meant. This was not intensity for show. It was insurance. That night did not end with celebration. It ended with review, film, notes, minor corrections. The test passed quietly. No announcement followed. Only continuation. And continuation, Kobe believed, was the point. Over time, the routine became identity. Kobe Bryant no longer referenced the old schedule. The previous version felt incompatible. Injuries accumulated, adjustments followed. The standard remained. Pain informed technique, not direction. New players arrived with confidence and speed. Kobe studied them carefully. Competition sharpened focus rather than threatened it. There were moments when stopping felt reasonable. Reason no longer applied. Commitment did. The line drawn at 4 a.m. never moved. It became the baseline. Teammates adapted or drifted. The system demanded response. Opponents felt the consistency. Games carried different weight. Kobe did not chase dominance. Preparation delivered it. The point of no return passed without ceremony. Reversal was no longer considered. Years later, the story would be told in fragments, championships, records, moments. Few would mention the morning at 4 a.m. That morning did not create greatness. It protected it. The rookie's question ended quickly, but its answer endured. Standards, once clarified, resist erosion. Greatness in this telling was maintenance, daily, unseen, unforgiving. The world saw outcomes. It did not see the quiet decisions that preserved them. Kobe Bryant never framed that answer as inspiration. He framed it as necessity. At 4 a.m., alone in the gym, he chose not to explain. He chose to continue. And that choice ended the talk forever.